Welcome to White Chocolate Source. This is Harry. Previously, we have installed our hypervisor, the ESXi 6.7 on our server, and this will be the continuation of our first video. We will be doing some initial setup for ESXi as well as deploy our first VM, the Ubuntu Server. And we will also be installing Docker inside our Ubuntu Server. So let's get started. Let us log into our ESXi host. So first, we will be fixing this vulnerability, the CVE 20183646. To fix this, we need to enable SSH on our ESXi. Then we will need to open PuTTY to connect to our server via secure shell. Okay, log in our root account. Then we need to check the runtime value of the htaware mitigation setting. So we need to run this command. As you can see, configured tab is set to false. Then we need to set this to true by running this command. So if we run the previous command, you can see that the mitigation settings is now configured to true. Okay, let us now reboot our ESXi host. So for the license, I found out that VMware doesn't anymore offer free license for ESXi 6. They now only offers the free license for ESXi 7. So we will just use the evaluation mode for this version, the 60 days or 2 months. Okay, we will also configure our NTP server. So go to Manage, System, Time and Date, and edit NTP Settings. And then select Use Network Time Protocol. Then, on NTP Service Startup Policy, we need to set it to Start and Stop with Host. Then we need to input the NTP servers. And then click Save. As you can see, the NTP service is currently stopped, so we need to reboot the system. After reboot, we can now see the NTP service is running. So let's move on. First, we need to download our Ubuntu Server ISO. We will select this 22.04.1 LTS, which means long-term support. Okay, going back to our ESXi, we need to go to our data store and upload the Ubuntu ISO that we have downloaded. Now we are going to create our first VM. So go to create or register VM, create new virtual machine, then we will name our server, select the OS family as Linux. Then for OS version, let us select Ubuntu Linux 64-bit. We only have one data store, so just click next. Then we are giving it 4 CPU, 8 gigs of RAM, and 60 gigabytes of storage. Then on CD or DVD drive, we select data store ISO file and select our ISO. Okay, click finish. Let's power on our virtual machine and we will now move on to installing our Ubuntu server. Okay, let's launch our remote console. Select Install Ubuntu Server. Select our language. Then we update to the new installer. Here we select our keyboard layout and choose default install. For network connections, we are going to set static IP address. So here we input our subnet, IP address, and default gateway. For DNS servers, we will just leave it as blank, so click save. Proxy address, leave as default. Storage configuration, we will also leave as default. Then we continue. Here we will set up our profile info. For SSH setup, leave it as default. Also for the snaps, click done. Okay, this will take some time, but I will just forward the video till it's finished. Okay, install complete. Select reboot now. Then we need to change the boot option back to host device, then click save. Okay, after booted, we can log in our username and password. And we have now successfully installed our Ubuntu Server VM. So let's move on to initial setup for our first boot. Let us log in to our Ubuntu Server. First, we need to secure our root account by setting a password. Then we need to lock the root account. So just type in that command. To unlock the account, you just need to input again the sudo password root. Now let's test if the root account is locked, so type su space root. Okay, now it is showing authentication failure, so it should be correct. Next, we need to do is to secure our SSH access, so just type in this command. Then, we need to look for the comment permit root login and remove the hash, then change prohibit password to no. For added security, we can also remove the hash symbol on permit empty passwords. Okay, let's save it. Next, we will allow SSH to Ubuntu Firewall using this command. Then let's enable the firewall. Then I would like to update the file system, but it seems that the name server is not working and the server cannot get to the internet. To resolve this, we can edit the resolve.conf file. Whatever changes you add here, it will revert after reboot, but we just need to input our name servers first in order to connect to the internet and install Resolvconf app packages. Then we can edit the config file for Resolvconf to make it permanent. We just need to add our name servers here and save. Okay, then we need to reboot the VM. After reboot, let's check again the Resolvconf file. Now we can see that the name server that we assigned are there after boot up. So now we can update and upgrade our system. Again, this will take some time, but I will just forward the video to when it's finished. After the update is finished, we can now power off our VM and create a snapshot. Just go to Actions, Snapshots, take Snapshot. So put the name and the description. Whenever I do any major changes on the system, I always take a snapshot, so in case something goes wrong, we can restore it from that state. Okay, now let's check and manage our snapshot. Okay, now it's all good, and let's do a quick install of Docker. Okay, to install Docker Engine, I am following the guide provided from official Docker website. First, we need to update the app package index, then install packages to allow app to use a repository over HTTPS. So we will just copy the step-by-step commands provided on this document. Okay, then we need to add Docker's official GPG key. Then set up the repository. So now we are ready to install Docker Engine, so let's update our app package index again. Then we will just install the latest version. Okay, installation is finished. Now we need to test if our install is successful. Let's run sudo docker run hello world. Okay, our installation is success. So we can check our installed container by typing sudo docker ps-a, and we can see the container that we installed here. Okay, that's all for this video. We will now start to play around with Docker and try to install application images, and that will be on our next following videos. So thank you for watching and see you on the next video.